In today's video, I want to share some tips with you for how to avoid miscutting your fabric. Hi, I'm Kim Jamieson-Hirst of Chatterbox Quilts, and it's happened to all of us. We're cutting away and we realize we've made a miscut. All right, we're supposed to be cutting 2.5-inch squares. We're cutting 2.25 or 2-inch squares. Well, what can you do? Well, if you've cut too small, not too much. You might be putting those pieces aside for another project. If you've cut too big, well, of course, you can recut, and that's not a problem. But it'd be nice if you could avoid that situation in the first place, wouldn't it? So I want to share some tips and tools that I like to use in my studio that helps to avoid that awful situation. First thing, if you're cutting squares, for example, and I have some templates here I want to share with you, I like to use these squares when I am cutting my square shapes for piecing. So these are templates from Martelli Notions, and it comes in two different sets. This one goes from 2.5 inches up to 5.5 inches, and this set goes from 6.5 inches to 9.5 inches. So it covers most of the common shapes that we are typically cutting. And what's nice about these, a couple of things, I'm going to take out a 3.5-inch one. What's nice about these is, first off, if you're cutting and you have the template and that's the only size it is, when you put it down, you know you're going to be cutting the right size. Also, these templates have the no slip backing on them, which means when I put them down to cut, it doesn't matter which way I put them, they're not moving. Okay, you see the fabric is moving with that template, so I don't have to worry about it shifting or anything like that. So I really love the accuracy that these templates provide me. And if you're not familiar with Martelli Notions, check in the description below because I'll put links to these two sets so you can take a closer look at them and maybe even get some for your own studio. Now, if you don't have those templates and you're cutting with a rotary cutting ruler, like most of us start off with, so I have a 6-inch by 12-inch ruler here, and this is where it's really easy to make mistakes when you're cutting. So if you're able to mark your ruler somehow, that would help to avoid these cuts. And like I said, if you're in production mode and you're cutting, 200 2.5-inch squares or 200 2.5-inch strips, having your ruler marked is really helpful so you don't have to look at it every time and think, what was I cutting again? All right. So what I'm using to do this is a product from Omnigrid called Glow Line tape. You may have seen these. They're a low adhesive transparent type of tape. They come in 3 colors in one package, and you can put them on the back of your ruler, as I've done in this particular case, at the appropriate line, and then you don't have to think about what you're cutting because that line is always there to remind you. Now, I said you put them on the back of your ruler, so you want to flip it over. I have Invisigrip on the back of this ruler, and it goes right over the Invisigrip, no problem, it still sticks. So you want to line it up properly and press it down with your finger so it's going to adhere. And where are you going to put it? Well, that's a good question. So if I'm cutting 2.5-inch strips, let's say, I'm going to put it along the 2.5-inch line, heading over towards the 2 3/4-inch line. Okay, so on the outside edge of the 2.5-inch line. So then when I go to cut, I would just take that, line up that, I've got the pink one here, pink strip right now. I would line that up along the edge of my fabric and just cut, and then I know I've cut a 2.5-inch strip. When you're done with these, you can take them off very easily. They just peel off. You can reuse them, so that's always nice. You can just put it back on the roll here, on the tape roll, and just keep it and use it another time, so you can use them multiple times. Or if you don't put it back on, you might find that your cat plays with them. Okay, what else could you use? Well, if you don't have the Glow Line tape and you like washi tape, like I like washi tape, or you may be doing other crafts and have washi tape, don't let your cat eat the Glow Line tape. It's not a good thing to do. You could use washi tape. So you could do the same thing. You could turn your ruler over, like I have here, and you could take the washi tape and run it along, let's see, maybe 2 inches this time. And I can just run it along here, cut it off. I could do the whole ruler, but I'm just going to cut it off here. You can see Sal's extremely interested in the washi tape as well. So helpful in the studio. And so now I've got these little cats here. They are backwards, of course. But again, it allows me to go to the edge of my fabric, line up that tape along the edge, and then make my cut. So a little more decorative maybe. The thing with the washi tape is it's a little stickier than the Glow Line tape. You can see it sticking to itself. So if you're going to use it on your ruler, I would suggest you take it off after you've done that cutting session. I would not keep it on there because you might find it's difficult to get off and it might leave a little bit of residue on your ruler. You could also use painter's tape. If you wanted to, you could do that as well. It's not nearly as fun as the glow tape or the washi tape, but it can be used as well. So those are just some hints and some tips for you that if you struggle to remember what am I supposed to be cutting when you're cutting multiple pieces of the same size, these types of tape or these types of templates can really help you out. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to share it with your quilting friends. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. And before you go, check out these other videos I've included just for you. For more helpful quilting information, please go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.